Sorry, I have to go pee. But you can hang out with Fred. Hang out with the people, Freddy. I have to go pee. Freddy! Hello, puppy. How goes it, puppy? Did you miss me? Did you miss me? Hello. Yes, I'm back. Sorry for I had to pee. Here's Fred. I'm gonna type in my password off screen so you guys don't have to force me to reset my password. If I can remember my own password, that would be great. And we're just gonna chat. I don't have a lot planned. I can show you all the free stuff that I got from the trip that I took to the Hamptons, which was basically a PR event. They invited a lot of media people, most of whom were freelance writers who do e-commerce stuff and are journalists. And I was like, I don't know why I'm invited, but I'll go. Sure, I'll go to goat yoga and meet goats and pet them. And it was great. It was fun. Hello, Baltimore. Here, let's sit on the floor with Fred, because I am tired. Hi, Freddy. How's your life been? I missed you. Yes? Did you miss me too? Yes? Oh, you did? Oh, okay, buddy. Yeah? Okay. Oh, I love you too, buddy. You are the love of my life. My heart and my soul. And you shall never die. And you shall never die. Wow, that was creepy listening to myself say that. Let's never say that again. And always mute before I put on the chat. Congratulations on the adoption, Allison. Yay! Hello, Kentucky. I am happy. It was delightful to be with people again, and you know, everybody was vaccinated and had PCR tests done and proven to be negative for COVID, so we felt really safe for the most part, even though I did keep my mask on sometimes. I don't know. It's really weird. Indoor spaces, I'm just like, if I'm not eating, maybe I'll just put my mask back on. I don't know. What, you know, just in case. Just in case they find out something new's going on with these variants and COVID, and we're all like, well, we should have been wearing masks all along, even if you were vaccinated and tested negative. Who knows, guys? But, yeah, it seemed like a lot of safety precautions were in, and as far as we knew, we did the best we could, and it was fun. We ate a lot of strange stuff, like caviar, which I've had once before, and actually twice. I had it at a restaurant that I worked at, wasn't a fan. I had it again with Aaron on a flight, wasn't a fan. I had it again this time, more of a fan, but not when you consider that a tin this big can be anywhere from 60 to 100 It's like one of those lip balm tins costs that much. And it's crazy. Hello, New Mexico. By the way, when we were driving into the Hamptons, we saw a row of shiny yachts. And after we passed by the yachts, we went to a really lush green lawn, and on the lawn there was a red lawn sign stuck into the grass that says, "Protect our police." And I was like, okay, we know where we're at, don't we, Toto? Yes, right back in Kansas. Anyway, that was fun. It was all great. Drank a lot of wine, didn't get too drunk. Talked about how I was trying to support the unionization process at Hearst, and everybody was commiserating about how much working for media sucks and how it pays like shit and how ridiculous it can be, and journalists who work the political news cycle get death threats from viewers who don't agree with the stuff that they cover. Fascinating stuff. Met a lot of really cool women who work in this industry, and for the most part was really glad to meet some PR people finally face to face, because we, working in media, always get PR emails and then they just become like floods in your inbox, and you always tend to ignore them because you don't have time to respond to them and you feel bad if you're gonna say no. But like, I asked one of the PR people at the event, and they basically told me we would infinitely prefer a straight up no than no response at all. So from now on, I will do my best and just say hi, person's name, thanks for this offer, but I'm gonna pass. Happy whatever day of the week it is, June. It's gonna take 5 seconds out of my day to write that, and you know, if it just makes someone's day slightly less miserable, then I'll do that. I have time. I can take 10 minutes out of my day to just say no to somebody. If that's gonna make their job easier, let's do it. Michelle Diane, I'm sorry to hear you're having a poo night. Would you like to see me show you some of my treats? Would that make you feel better or worse? Let me see what you guys are saying. Oh, Nauko. You're having a poo day too? Dang. I feel like the complaint about lack of communication and lack of inclusivity is very commonly ignored, and then they get passive aggressive at you because you pointed out a problem that they don't want to solve. And when you tell people that there's a problem and that they're on the wrong side of issues, obviously they're going to take offense at that because it ruins their self-image of how good of a person they are. Newsflash, we're all flawed people with probably not great views in some areas of life, and it's okay to be a bad person, but it would be infinitely better if we could try to be slightly less bad the next go around. No shame in the game, just keep on living. Yeah, Fred, just keep on living. Did you like living? Did you like living without me? Let's see some treats, Mike says. But Fred is here, and if I stand up, he's gonna leave. He's gonna leave. I really want him to stay, because I love having both me and Fred in the shot. And there goes my white balance. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm currently having an ongoing Instagram discussion right now in my stories about what it means to develop a parasocial relationship with a content creator and feel like it's the content creator's obligation to answer all questions and to maintain the same level of transparency and directness with their viewers, and if they owe it to their viewers to maintain that level of output and just share themselves to the fullest if they start off that way. And somebody did say to me, like the parallel for it seems like our whole issue of learning what consent is and existing in a society that basically has normalized rape culture. And so, you know, even if you consent to touching, to kissing, maybe you didn't consent to sex, or maybe you did consent to sex, but you didn't consent to continuing that sex act and then being forced or guilted into continuing it, and where the boundaries lie of what is acceptable behavior. And I found that to be a very interesting parallel. And I'm still mulling it over because I do feel like this is a very personal issue for me, particularly because I do feel like a lot of people relate to me and to whatever I put on this channel, because I put out a lot of personal shit and I try to remain really transparent with y'all, not only because I think people enjoy it, but mostly because this is the way I function in real life. And it is true that I think creating content, I still feel weird about that phrase, that creating content does change me, sometimes imperceptibly to myself. It's not always like a conscious, I'm putting on an act for you guys. It's just a matter of like, when you know there's an audience, you naturally shift, right? The way you code switch with different people, coworkers versus family, when you code switch between languages, when you code switch between cultures, when you different environments. It's just like we are constantly acting. We are performing. And like, if anybody's read Judith Butler, the way we perform gender, it can be applied to the way we perform what we view to be professionalism, can be applied to just everything that we do in life. And so it comes back to this question of like, what is the authentic self, and is there one authentic self, or do we just constantly shift like a chameleon? And it's you can see how these topics ravel very quickly for me into very existential ponderings. And so I'm not trying to put down anyone. I obviously do feel very scared when people feel like they deserve to know something, or creators owe them a certain level of output and quality of output and subject matter of output, because it feels like perhaps we have dug ourselves into a hole and now people are saying it's your fault for jumping into it. So just something that I'm thinking about. I'm just always thinking, and today that's what I'm thinking about. I also was thinking about this because I was just on a PR trip, and you know, you're given this list of all the brands that are being represented at this event that costs probably a shit ton, because the Airbnb house that we were staying at in the Hamptons apparently costs $35,000 a month to rent. So every day, now keep in mind this house has like a dozen bedrooms, and each bedroom has its own bathroom, and in the basement was like a full-on home gym that is better equipped than some hotel gyms that I've seen. So again,
did you use it?
I did use the gym. There was also a pool. I did not go into the pool because I do not like water. There were also tennis courts. Just this morning there was like a groundskeeper mowing the lawn. So it's like really bougie ass shit, guys. Like, this is the 1% life that I will probably never live, and I hope I will never live, because I can't imagine being happy in that environment, living like that, while knowing that there's literally people living under tarps in LA getting crashed into by cars every other day.
But what if you get to live inside a black person's body?
Oh, like Get Out? I don't think I want... I already live in an Asian person's body. It's quite a trip, bro. But very fascinating topics for me to just constantly think about, and just like there's two internal guilt triggers that happened on this trip. One is, you know, like going on a first class flight and going to the Hamptons. On the surface, look
What
to
is
people.
Why is it so tightly wrapped?
That's your sauces.
Oh, sick.
Yes, I didn't want it to leak.
Nice.
How it conflicts with the persona that people have of me, that like June is thrifty, June saves everything, June, you know, lifts furniture off the street, which are all true. These are all things that I do. But how do you make the two different aspects of the elements in my life collide
Is it
into.
your fault you're successful?
I'm not successful. I am successful, but I'm not trying to be reaching a level of success that maybe a lot of people are trying to, because I recognize in that inherent process of attaining societally recognized success that you are following someone else's narrative that might not necessarily be what brings you fulfillment, contentment, happiness, joy, and comfort within your own being and existence.
Are you fulfilled, content, and joyful now?
I love being here with Fred. I loved having 2.5 days to experience the 1% life. I love knowing exactly what can be made available to me if I had a certain level of financial security. But I also like experiencing that just to know that I don't want it for myself. The same way when I was questioning my sexuality.
Did you give him fresh water?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just exhausted.
Okay.
It's like when people were telling me, oh, maybe you're asexual because you're not experienced sexually, and so then I had to have sex to figure out if that's the case. And you know, like, there's no certainty, right? Maybe in 10 years I'll want to be a stinking rich-ass billionaire.
Who has sex all the time.
Who has sex all the fucking time.
Always doing it.
And just... and this is something I constantly think about because so much of our online culture now is maintaining a brand, right? We want a brand. We want someone to stay consistent, stay on brand. Like, you can't put out off-brand stuff. And I was thinking about how all of the fonts that I use in my thumbnails are kind of different, and they're all like very idiosyncratic, and I enjoy that. I enjoy not putting out a specific type of content, and I enjoy just doing really random shit because then I don't have to box myself into, well, this is what June does, right? I don't want to be known as the budget eats person because I'm gonna get tired of it. Y'all are gonna get tired of it. You don't know you're gonna get tired of it, but you will. It's like when Lost had like 7,000 seasons. I feel like a lot of y'all weren't into it. I mean, I lasted 1 episode of Lost, and I was like, I am lost in Lost, so I'm gonna stop watching. But a lot of people are really invested. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Yes. How are you? Is this rambling good? Listen, I was in the Hamptons for 2.5 days. I didn't go live. All of these emotions were inside me. I was trying to like comfort myself and calm my anxiety. Like, what will people think of me? Holy shit, what do I think of myself? Like, how does this make sense? Why am I here? What am I doing in media? I fucking hate this. Why is this caviar so expensive? Why do luxury goods like this exist when people don't have food on the table? I just like, all these thoughts were bombarding me, and I'm just like, what is my role here? I'm assuming these brands and the PR company wanted me to constantly story their stuff, tag them so they can repost it, so I can be a human ad, and in a lot of ways I will be, because I got footage. I will edit that footage for y'all. I will probably make a little video of my time there. My primary purpose is not to showcase the brands. My primary focus is to like show you what goes down in these events, because I don't know. Like, I honestly did not ever expect to have access to these events. It is truly an out-of-body experience for me, because I grew up with parents who didn't make that much money, and my mom still makes the same amount of money that she made 10 years ago because she works for a nonprofit newspaper that has limited distribution, and she makes shit because they keep cutting her pay because they're like, well, our donations dipped, so can you give back some of your pay? It's fucked up, but so I'm used to just scrounging by, and I've gotten comfortable on scrounging by, so like going to these places triggers something in me where I feel inferior. I feel like I've never had the opportunity, and never even imagined I would have the opportunity, to eat fucking caviar, stay in a $35,000 per month rental. I talk with people from these brands. Like, it's a whole new world for me that I'm trying to navigate, and I wanted to go because 1, I had PTO, 2, because if you don't go, you never know, 3, because I have access to it, so why not experience it? And 4, maybe I'll discover a new part of myself, and maybe it'll be terrifying, but maybe it'll be liberating. Or maybe if I stop boxing myself into boxes, then maybe other people will stop boxing me as well, because I can develop confidence in myself as a undefined, open person who is more secure in the fact that she will change as a person. My brain is at once very noisy and very quiet. Say something. Freddy, you want attention? You want attention? Do you want attention? Hey, baby. Is that where Ina Garten lives? Fred, did you knock my plants? What are those little pieces of dirt doing? Did you destroy my plants, Fred? Did you do a cat thing? Are you getting zoomies right now? Step away from my plants before you get... Oh. Are you getting zoomies? Did you get a kick out of destroying my plants? You little cat. Hi. Hi. Yes. Fred didn't have dinner yet, but he will be fed. Wow. Look at our king. Look at our king. Hello, California. So yes, do I like caviar? I don't hate it. It's very distinctive. It's kind of fishy, kind of creamy. It's just like any other roe, except I learned it's from sturgeon. And sturgeon, I don't know if you know how they harvest it, but they basically kill the fish to harvest the eggs. And they have to wait until the fish... I learned a lot. You see, I learned food facts while I was there. Different kinds of sturgeon, there's different species of it, will take anywhere from like 8, don't quote me on it, 8 to 20 plus years to mature so that they have eggs. And then once they have eggs, they kill them. And once they kill them, they gut the eggs out and they cure them in salt. And then they pack it in a huge tin. And this particular company ships it from Italy to the US. And once they get to the US and they're ready to sell, they crack open that huge tin and they box it into smaller tins and they retail it. So the whole fish dies when they produce caviar. I think caviar used to be, it was mentioned, snack for beer selling. It was like peanuts, you know, the way they give you free peanuts at a bar so that you drink more beer. Caviar used to be that peanuts. But now that we've basically like hunted them to such rarity because we love to destroy all the things that we don't cherish until they're gone, it's become a luxury item because supply and demand. Really fucking funny how value shifts constantly and there is no real concrete reason as to why things are valued or devalued. Guys, it's just all a game that we make up. Did you know? Hey, Georgia. Yes, so this particular company says that, well, again, it's a PR pitch, so take it with a grain of salt, but they do try to conduct business sustainably by using the whole fish. They do sell off the fish, and they can smoke it, they can sell it, whatever. I don't exactly know the details, but let's just hope that they do use the whole fish when they kill it. Hello, Heather and Marcel. Can you actually harvest caviar without killing the fish, Laura? Because I am a complete noob when it comes to this. I was thinking, don't some fish lay eggs? Can you not harvest the eggs once it's out in the water? But maybe the fish laying their eggs into the water ruins the egg's integrity and you can't really consume it. Maybe it's not food grade anymore. Again, I don't know. Hello, Lori. Yeah, I hope they make fish bone crunchies too, little Ludite. So it's pretty fascinating. We learned about prunes, and they were saying how prunes are really good for bone health. It's developing research, so not ascertained. Also, food science research, highly, highly biased, depending on who's funding it. But they say that they recommend eating 5 prunes a day, and honest to God, I think I ate way too many because
5 prunes a day for what?
for health, but
That's it, just for health.
bone health too, but you know, they gotta sell the prunes, okay? I love prunes. However, prunes will give me the worst poops. It's not the poops that are the problem, it's the gas that comes with it because they are high in sorbitol, which is a sugar alcohol, which gives me the bloaties. So I was bloaty. I'm pretty sure, you know, the journalist 2 doors down heard me fart all night. It was like somebody was letting free whoopee cushions, but I had to do what I had to do. It was like painful, but you know, that's life, guys. Everybody farts, everybody shits, everybody eats, everybody dies. The story of life, as told to you by June on a live stream. Sophia, see, that's the problem though. I'm already regular, so then when you add prunes into the equation, it was really fun though. We had like a whole tasting event where they paired the prunes with different ingredients and you could see how the flavor combos interact, and it was a delightful experience for me because that's the way I like testing out ingredients. Excuse me. For myself too, I like to taste them with different things and try out the combos and see how the flavors interact. So it was it enlightened the chefy part inside of me. The trashy part inside of me was just like, prunes, eat all the cheese and all the prunes and all the walnuts. And I sure did, and I sure paid the price for it. But take whisks. You don't have to be accused of getting dark. You can just own the dark persona. It is what I did at Delish. You know, I was the Debbie Downer, the negative Nancy, the party pooper, and by that time I had already grown into that reputation since college, so I was very comfortable in it, and I was like, hey, you know what? Everybody needs a little bit of dark to show off the light. So if you want to be the positives and the sunshine optimists, then I will be here to let you take the spotlight. I will be your background player, and you will shine against my darkness. Everybody needs to play a part in society. Not everyone can be the winners. You know, losers are equally important. I think the rich people would agree that if they have no one to step on, they wouldn't be rich, right? That's people's problems with socialism, right? The fact that if we all were the same, they would lose their identity as the winners, and boy, oh boy, what a tragedy. Who would they be then? Themselves. And who are we without others to compare ourselves to? Potentially nobody. That's the true freedom, is being nobody. But we're all terrified of freedom. We all want to be somebody because it's terrifying to be nobody. Imagine how if when you look into the mirror you see nothing, and then when you scream you hear no sound. Do you exist if nobody sees you? So are we all trying to be attention whores because we want to exist? Am I an attention whore? Probably. Yeah. Am I trying to find myself? Probably. The loudest people are probably the most insecure. So anyway, let's look at my junk. Let me show you Freddy. There he is. Should I break up or not? Wait, I missed a combo. Why are we breaking up? Why are we breaking up? Who's breaking up with who?
Oh yeah, June, I forgot to tell you, sorry.
What?
Bye.
What?
We're done.
Yeah, I know we're done.
We're over.
Okay, so the whole Instagram conversation about whatchamacallit, guys, help, what is the word I'm looking for? Oh, parasocial relationships came out of a YouTube comment that was not left on my page. It was left on Simon and Martina's channel. Let me get my stuff so I can stop lying to you and show you the stuff while I rant. Capiche? Oh, Fred hates the backpacks. So weird. You don't like the backpacks, Freddie? So Simon and Martina, a wonderful channel that we used to follow on YouTube because they used to live in Korea and then Japan, and they were married and they were one of the most amazing couples because Martina suffers from a condition that is basically like an invisible disability where her joints pop out of their sockets and it gets extremely painful to exist in her body. And Simon was always seen as the caretaker who would support her, and they cooked a lot and they explored food things, and we loved seeing their view of Japan and their life in Japan. And we went to one of our favorite restaurant in the world is Saita Maya. It's the Grill Master, one of the like Japanese grill yakitori joints, and it was we had an amazing meal there. And it turns out that they are now separating. Yes, Melissa, thank you so much for that. Yeah, that's exactly her condition. So they are separated, and obviously their channel has taken for a turn because they're broken up and they're making content differently, and everybody's now saying Simon's not taking care of her, Simon's abandoning her, Simon's lost a lot of weight, Simon's this, Simon's that, what's wrong with Simon, they're just shitting on it. But I don't know the full story. It seems like Martina is making a different channel, and everyone feels like Simon pushed her out of their original channel, so it's a big drama going on. I don't know what's happening. I feel really bad about it, obviously, but I'm also not one of those people who comment on YouTube videos. And it's just really weird to see how if you become really transparent on these social platforms, then people expect you to stay transparent, and when you are in need of personal space, there's no way you can get it because people have become used to you doling it out and being generous with it and giving what you give at the rate that you give it and the amounts that you give it. And the people always want more. Like, it's kind of like when you take drugs and you develop tolerance for it. A little bit of weed now won't work 2 months from now if you smoke it every day. You're gonna need to take more. Same thing with other types of drugs, including sugar. You'll always want more. You eat a little bit of candy, you want that chocolate bar. You eat the chocolate bar, you want the cupcake. You eat the cupcake, you want the candy bar. I don't know, whatever you got in your house, and then you turn into a sugar addict, like me. But so it's intense. It makes me scared to see people react in that way instead of just being like, wow, I'm upset, I'm gonna give you your space, I'm gonna let you find yourself again because you're going through a tough time, and I'm gonna just fucking chill because I don't know you. But again, I'm not like a devoted follower of Simon and Martina. When they stopped posting regularly, when COVID hit, and when they moved back to Canada for a while, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna follow other content for now. I want you guys to see Fred. If I lift it up, you can't see Fred. Do you just want to see my face? I kind of don't want to show my face. But here's the bag. This bag was given by the California Prune Board, and it's filled with granola from Nature's Path. So they gave us lots of granola. This one is really fun. It's no added sugar. It has like powdered dates in it, apparently. It tastes pretty good. It kind of tastes like Special K in loose, low-fat granola form. This one is interesting. It has more of a savory bent to it. It has turmeric. And this one is my least favorite. It is the mixed berry granola, and it kind of tastes like a stale smoothie because they put stuff in here like, wait. Sorry, that's not it. Let me show you the other one that actually is the one that I don't like. The one that I don't like is one that they put greens into, so it's meant to... I stole a lot of granola, or I took a lot of granola. I didn't steal it. They told me to take it, so I took it. Anybody wants some granola, you can let me know. This one I'm not into. It's the smoothie bowl granola, and it's kind of... It has a, if you like that kind of green thing going in your smoothies, you might like this granola, but, you know, whatever. Really cool products. I like granola. What do we got here? We got some crushed pistachios from California Prunes, who also gave us chocolate, and it's kind of like a make-your-own prune dipped kit with like little skewers.
I'm here to see the swag.
Okay, see the swag. I also got some tea from Tea Forte. I gotta be honest with you, when teas come in these packages, do you want to eat?
Way too overdone.
Do you want to do the cherry marzipan?
Not
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Is there any herbal?
Let me check. But look, this is the packaging. It's obviously meant to be a gift because you open up the box and then it's more boxes. It's more of these little boxes that hold a little pyramid nylon sachet inside, which guys, I know they're supposed to be the fancy type of tea, but nylon sachets, Aaron told me, once you heat them in boiling water the way you brew tea, it breaks down the plastic in the nylon.
Yeah, there's like 9 billion plastic particles.
And you basically are drinking plastic bits. So yes, fine if you want to seem bougie, but like I always break open the sachets and they're not compostable. I always break open the sachets and I just use them as loose leaf tea. It feels like a waste because I can't compost those tea bags because they're nylon. And also, a lot of these teas are flavored and they sound really fun. Like I got these for you, lemon sorbet tea and cherry marzipan, because
Nice.
they seem like your flavors, but they're all very flavored. So if you like tea for tea, this might not be the brand for you. And also, I just feel like the packaging sets you up for so much expectation of how good the tea tastes, and the tea tastes fine.
It's all
I'm not gonna
packaging.
shit on the tea, but like Hardy and Sons make me feel more comforted, and tea is a very comforting thing. You know I drink a lot of it. This is a Harvest Apple Spice herbal one that Aaron can have. Do you want to set some water?
Yes.
Do you want to drink it now? I'll show the people. So you open it like a little box, and it's like almost origami. It unfolds, and unfolds flat. And then you have a little pyramid sachet, and this is nylon, guys. This isn't paper. So what I do is I tear it open along the seams, and I just dump the tea out straight into my mug or thermos or whatever. It smells fine. It smells great. It smells woodsy, like
smells from
rooibos.
here.
Yeah, it's really
herbal?
strong. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, it says herbal tea.
Okay.
This
Cool.
one has orchard ripe fruit and berries infused with warm baking spices, and it says do not microwave infuser. So when you have something that says do not microwave, it probably is not heat safe. So it's pretty heat sensitive. It's just probably not good for your health. There's also powder on here,
Microplastics.
and it tastes like apple candy, actually. It tastes like somebody ground up dried apples with cinnamon. It tastes delicious. So maybe their herbal is the way to go, because I only had black tea, white tea, and green tea, and they were all flavored, but maybe herbal is their best thing. That powder tastes delicious. I would almost use this tea as a baking spice.
Smells
Yeah.
awesome.
It doesn't say what temp it needs to brew, but let me see if the boxes say anything. It just says unwrap Pyramid tea infuser, place in cup, pour 8 ounces of water over infuser, steep black tea in boiling water for 3 to 5 minutes. So boiling water. Green and near boiling water for 2 to 3. Herbal tea and boiling water for 5. So we got some tea. And then they also gave us a cafe teacup, which honestly, don't tell anyone. But I might just keep this for like gifting somebody, because I have way too many teas. It's obviously a delightful thing to gift. It's nicely packaged, it seems glitzy, dishwasher microwave safe, product of China, as usual. Smells like perfume, so, you know. We also got a Tattinger candle. It's made in France, apparently. Let me check who is Tattinger. So this is the Culinary House event. This is everything that we did. This is the programming to show you guys. Monday we had caviar with wines. We had a corn cooking class, which is a kind of like a mock meat brand that's popular in the UK. We had Stonyfield and Nature's Path breakfast. We had a Piers lunch, which was unsponsored. It was just a random lunch at a random Bridgehampton place. Really fucking expensive, probably, and for the price, probably not worth it. Everybody in that restaurant looked the same. Exactly how you would imagine people in the Hamptons to dress like. Dessert was fantastic though. French fries were really good. I ate so many French fries. And then we had prunes, which was the beginning of my end because I ate too many of them. And then we had a cooking and dinner with Le Creuset. We didn't really get to see the skillets being used, but apparently we can choose a Le Creuset thing to get shipped to us. So for all the people who have been yelling at Delish to get me Le Creuset, don't worry, babes, I'm on it. I'm an independent woman who can shill myself out to PR companies who can then get me the Le Creusets without Delish having to get them for me. Don't worry. I got me. I got you too. Because you want the Le Creuset more than I want the Le Creuset, but I'm just gonna get a Le Creuset because one, they're offering it to me, and two, then people can stop yelling at me to get better shit to cook in, because I hope you're happy. But TBD, I still haven't gotten that email, so. I am a little manic. Yeah, I'm kind of hungry too, but like not, because I've been overeating for the past 2.5 days. Then today, this morning, we just had some yogurt and Lifeway kefir or kefir. But basically, they are oat-based, so they're a vegan kefir. Somebody tell me. And it was reminiscent of the flavor of Yakult, but not quite as thick as kefir, not quite as thin as Yakult, not as sweet as Yakult, and just in general not as enjoyable as Yakult. So I know Yakult isn't vegan, but like the packaging they had really gave me some Yakult vibes. They had single serving ones that are like very drinkable. They had the foil tops, which didn't pierce. They don't come with a straw. They should come with a straw if they don't pierce or poke or peel that well, so, you know. Okay, everybody's telling me different things. And then the highlight of the trip was goat yoga, which you gotta go on my Instagram and look at the goats. Look at the goats. And then we came back. And we had one more person that came back with us on the return trip. And so I sat up front with the driver, and I had a fantastic conversation with the driver. I think he's from Pakistan, and he's in a very well-off part of Long Island, living with his family, and he, I guess, drives rich people around and events people around in like a Mercedes van. Pretty sweet job. And we just talked about all sorts of shit, like food, politics, traffic, real estate, just politics again, because politics is everything, and we saw eye to eye on a lot of things. And at the end, he was like, I wanted to go to this wrestling thing with my family, but nobody wants to go. My wife and daughter don't want to go. My son, one has to work and one has to study for a test. And I was like, well, I guess if you are trying to be successful, you can't have fun. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, is success worth it? And he was like, in my opinion, no. Other people, maybe. But for me, no. And I was like, I agree. Just go to the wrestling match. What else do you have to do? But these are all the brands that were represented. Not all of them had in-person reps. A lot of them just had like for LaCroix and for Talenti, they just had drinks and ice cream in the freezer and fridge at all times. And for Pipette, they had like lotions in the rooms that we were staying. So, Aaron, your timer. Oh, he's pooping. Jesus Christ. Stop. Oh my God. Come here, Freddie. We would like to see you. I have tricked you once again to come into the kitchen. Haha. Aaron, your water's ready.
Thank you.
And from Corn, we had a fantastic chef whose family is from Syria, and so he gave us a Syria spice blend mix. It has allspice, coriander, cumin, cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, white pepper, nutmeg, black pepper, cloves, marjoram. So, yes, you can see that. So I got a lot of different kinds of tea, all in the packets. I got prunes. I'm going to be very careful with eating these. They're deadly. We got a bar of chocolate to go with the prunes. It's, I believe, 85% cacao because it pairs really well with the sweet prunes.
Can I have prunes?
What?
Can I have prunes?
Yeah, you can have prunes.
Why are they deadly?
Because you'll see. We got some white wine Chardonnay from Turkovich, which is the same orchard space where they grow the prunes.
You know what they should call wine made out of prunes? Chardonnay.
Chardonnay. Wow. Wow. So we'll pop that open one day when Aaron feels like getting drunk with me. Guys, look, we got a new mini spatula. I don't think it's going to be as good as the Tavola one, but it's really nice to have a second one because that one's getting really beaten up, so. Boop, 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 boop. Ready? Do you want to play with the spatula? Sorry, you can't see him because I'm blocking him. Have you guys seen this before? This is apparently a heat pack or an ice pack. You can either freeze it or microwave it. I've never seen this before. It has like little beads in it, like little silicone wet beads in it. I don't know. Theo chocolate is really good, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Continuing, we have a wine stopper. Wait, what's 10 out of 10 for menstrual cramps? I need to know. Sorry, Fred, I didn't mean to scare you. What's that? What's? Oh, what? Okay, well, I don't know what you're, okay. Well, this is gonna come in handy. Although, is this bigger or smaller than my ovaries? You can see I didn't have great sex ed or bio class. Oh yeah, and then we had some Caviar that was basically sponsored by the wineries, but the wineries didn't actually have reps present, so we got a lot of info on the Caviar and almost none on the wines, ironically, even though the wineries paid for it. I have some prune recipe cards, a 5-spice prune jam, a ricotta toast with prune jam. Okay. More prunes, scary. Okay. A sticker, great. And a wine opener. Nice. finally have the proper one. And these are tops that I screwed off of a baby food pouch from Stonyfield, which I actually enjoyed. I got some footage, but I did not take any back with me. And you know what? I was like, wow, this is a lot of plastic waste for a little bit of baby food. What can I do with these? This is a perfect little kind of lens support. Like sometimes I don't have a tripod yet for my camera when I'm filming on the go. So I'll just put it on the table, and I'm sure you realize sometimes the angles are low, and I aesthetically don't mind it, but sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of support underneath the lens so that I could angle the camera up a little bit so you can see into my face as I take a bite of something without Aaron having to shoot it for me. So I can just pop this little thing as like a little lens stand, and the lens will be balanced more horizontally across the table rather than hinging forward under the weight of itself. And so I'm going to repurpose these as a little shooting thing. This is a board from Korn, a cutting board. Aaron will give me shit about this cutting board, I'm sure, but it's really nice. Single block of wood. And I will just have Aaron know now that I also had a California prune board that was cut into the shape of California, and I was like, I like the wood on this, but we will also never use it because it's cut into the shape of California, so I left it behind. Which is a great decision on my part because I ended up getting off of the van, which dropped us off in front of Bryant Park, and Aaron's just like happened to meet me there. He was also in the area, and I was like, who is this white dude standing among this crowd of women that just got out of the van? And I was like looking at him, and then I looked at his backpack and saw his patches before I realized that, oh my god, that's Aaron. So we ended up walking back from Midtown into Queens, and I was carrying my backpack, 2 backpacks, and all of this shit, and I was like dying by the time we were walking up the stairs to our apartment. So I'm really glad I didn't have the second board on me because would not have made it. This is all the papers that I'm now going to recycle because it hurt my heart. Our house didn't have recycling bins. Like no paper recycling, no metal recycling, no plastic recycling, nothing. Nothing. But I do want to show you guys the proudest conquest of my haul. I had no shame. They had a stack of coupons. Everybody left, and I took all of them. Not all of them. I wasn't that shameless. I left 2 on the table, and I ended up taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I took 10. 1 was given to me. So I now have 11 coupons for a free Nature's Path cereal product, which looking forward to trying all their kids cereals because I've always wanted to try their kids cereals. And Vital Farms gave us some coupons for free eggs and free butter. So I got 2 free butter and 2 free eggs coupon, really nice. And then I have 4 Stonyfield yogurt coupons, and I also have 2 Talenti gelato coupons. So honestly, my favorite thing ever is coupons because 1, I can use them on anything I want. 2, it triggers this reward response in me because when I was in middle school and high school, I was constantly looking for weekly deals of sales and clipping all the coupons, and this is just like really refreshing my sweet memories of coupon clipping and using and feeling accomplishment at like getting something on sale for 23 cents just randomly because I put 3 coupons together. Lots of wrapping paper, more tea, random key ring, and a spoon from Talenti. Pretty beautiful, huh? Nice little spoon. And that's it for that bag. Really nice bag. It was so heavy, the straps of this bag started cutting into my shoulder. I'm not even sure. I might have bruised my shoulder. I can't see right now. It kind of hurts. Oh yeah. This side is kind of red. I don't know if you can see. It was really heavy, y'all. Okay, more stuff. We have some relaxing body wash from Pipette. We have some relaxing body lotion from Pipette. We have some mineral sunscreen, which by the way is the one you're supposed to use. You're supposed to use mineral and not, oh no, this leaked all over my bag. Fuck me. The body wash leaked all over my bag. Great. I was like, what's wet in here? We got some hand sanitizer. Oh, okay. Excuse me. For 1 second. Aaron, are you hungry?
No.
Okay, well, I need to eat something now.
What are you gonna eat?
I guess I'll start with an apple. Oh, I should defrost my soups. Yay, soups. I bought a Cortland apple, so. I don't remember where I put the spoon that I stole from the California hotel. I think I lost it. Kind of sad, actually. I don't know. I thought I stole it, but I didn't unpack it. Do you want to see Fred being silly? Hi, Freddy. So Cortland is a soft apple, kind of like Max, but if you get them early season and you get them from a local farm, they are soft but still crisp and slightly crunchy and really juicy. And it's like a fresh little verdant, stereotypical apple flavor, but really nice and perky. So earlier on in the apple season, like around this time, I really like buying Cortlands. They're probably good for my aging teeth too, especially the one that I got a root canal on. And that's it. That's it for the haul. The rest of the stuff in there is just spilled body wash and my dirty laundry. Any questions, folks? I'm down to eat and take questions. I missed out all of your comments, so if there's anything you really want me to answer, feel free to ask. I really like my taki mushrooms, but almost any mushroom. Shiitakes are super versatile. I hate portobello. I do not like portobello. I would take a white button mushroom before I like a portobello. Thank you, Sarah. I don't have a piercing in this ear anymore. It got infected twice, and so I just didn't bother re-piercing it anymore. 10 years later, and I can still feel half of the hole in the back of my ear, so it's like never really healed. Fall squash ideas: soup, roast, steam, pie, endless, sauce. top 3 favorite types. The first ones that came to mind was Aesopus Spitzenberg, Matsu, and the third one, I did really like Arkansas Black. That was the last one that I liked, but no. I really like, I think it's called Caviar Blanc. It's one of the French varieties with super high vitamin C value. And I was thinking of another one, but I lost it. Jason, is Modi apples the one that look like ginger gold, but a little bit drier? Kareth, I bought you all apples. I literally bought 10 pounds of apples. There's like 12 apples in there. You can come over and have one. I can't deliver though, girl. I'm tired. Debbie, my favorite way to treat any mushroom to get the most savory flavor out of them is to just blister and saute them in lots of oil and salt and pepper, and that's it. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, a lot of oil. I don't have a favorite tea brand, but I tend to go to Harney & Sons because they have a lot of price ranges and a lot of selection, and their service is really friendly in stores. It's kind of changed with COVID, but I really appreciate that their store is super accessible for people of different price points, and I can always treat myself with a tin of this and that without breaking the bank. I don't think I'll hit fame because I don't think the industry will like me. Ooh, I don't like Red Hots. Ugh. Joan, I'm not sure I understand your question. Can you clarify for me? Bye, Helena. Nauka, what did they say? Yes, I love Milky Oolong. That's one of my favorite teas from Harney & Sons. I have a pound of it. Ooh, I don't think I've ever had Modi apples. Joan, delicious weird because before me, Tess was the one who was going viral, but her thing was going to theme parks, and when COVID hit, she couldn't go anymore because they all shut down. Julia also has an insane amount of views on her Julia Tries Everything series. Obviously that also got impacted with COVID because a lot of restaurants shut down and there was no indoor dining and nobody felt safe eating out. So I feel like the conditions of COVID led to Budget Eats being the most widely consumed series because basically our other 2 thriving series had no place to develop because the sources of sponsor locations just died. Nako, that's always the response. You have to keep asking for everything. It's very exhausting. It's like you take on a second job duty. They relieve themselves of all the responsibility of being the leaders that they're supposed to be. They get paid more than us, but also say that we're constantly responsible for making them responsible. How is it my job to make sure your job is getting done? No, it's your job to do your job because you're getting paid more than me, right? I don't trust you because you don't do your job. Fuck. To answer your question, Joan, it is sometimes good to see myself when I like myself, and it is sometimes very bad to see myself when I don't like myself. It totally depends on my inner state, my self-confidence, my body image issues, the way I'm feeling insecure, the way I feel mismatched to who I'm on screen, because sometimes I feel like depending on who edited me, it's not the truest version of me. Like in my latest Who's Smarter Than a Pro Chef Q&A with Nick DiGiovanni for the Delish channel, which doesn't have a lot of views because it's just, who cares? It's 10 fucking questions, who cares? But anyway, I do one of them every once in a while because I'm asked to do them and it's part of my job, so I do it. But, you know, because the person editing it wasn't comfortable with including all of my jokes, not all of my jokes made it into the final edit, and then I felt like some of my jokes fell flatter that were included in the edit because they didn't have the context of the previous jokes. And so it felt like a really skimmed version of myself, and I didn't want to watch that episode at all because I was just like, well, like it's kind of fractured, you know? So depending on how I package myself or how other people package me in the final product, you lose bits of the context. And depending on which bits of the context you lose, that feeds back into my perception of myself. That also affects the way other people who view that video perceives me, and their perception of me from that video also influences the way I perceive me. Their comments affect me even though I don't want them to, even though I say they don't affect me. I think unconsciously or consciously sometimes they do affect me and impact me. And again, we're malleable. We're so weak as human beings. We want to see ourselves have this continuous self-image, but we are so easily influenced and bent. We wish we could be either, you know, impenetrable, like, I don't know, fucking titanium, or completely go with the flow Mercury, but rather what we are is this, I don't know, aluminum. Just like flaky, soft. You can be torn. You can be bunched up. You can be rolled up. I don't know. I'm just pulling shit out of my ass now, but that was a very long answer to your question, but it is one that affects me on a daily basis, I would say. Maybe, to answer your concern, I also don't feel like cooking sometimes, hence I'm eating a fucking apple right now. Also, I'm quote unquote good at it because you don't have expectations for me. You have high expectations for yourself. You just watch me put shit into a pot, and then you watch me eat it, and you assume that it tastes good, so you assume that it was easy for me to cook well. But I just cooked, which you can also do. You can also just put random shit into a pot and season it until it's edible to your standards. So it all depends on what your standards are, what you're perceiving I'm doing, and how you perceive the difficulty level for me is. And remember, I've worked in professional restaurants for years. I've worked in food media for years. I've had to shoot from home in the middle of a pandemic, cooking videos for a year and a half. So of course I have more practice probably than the average person, unless, you know, you're a grandma who's cooked for 18,000 kids and grandkids, then you probably definitely have more experience than I do in the kitchen. In which case, thank you, Grandma. Take risks, exactly. They're not smart questions. Like, I'm not invested in it. Why should the viewer be invested in it? We have these random show ideas that just don't make sense, and they're only like PR opportunities for us to invite celebrities on. But I feel like there is a way to really engage celebrities that would involve content that I would care about. Like, I don't know. Maybe I can interview them in some way, and we can all make random things on our own side and we can just have a chat. Like, I can interview them about how they came to be where they are at this point in their career, while I make some congee or eat an apple or try some peanut butters, and we just snack and talk. Like, that would infinitely be more interesting for me to participate in as talent in that video than for us to sit down and answer 10 weird random questions for 8 minutes and then awkwardly say hi and goodbye, and that's it. I never see them again. I don't learn anything for the most part, if you count learning what kinds of different citruses there are. Corn has come out with like imitation chicken nuggets and filet breasts and patties that you can fry, and when they're fried, they taste quite good. Effie, I just tried to buy the best affordable olive oil I can. I would like them to be single origin. I don't ever want to be buying a blend unless I really don't have time and I'm just grabbing whatever cooking oil I have, which is why I have a tin of Botticelli in the corner of the room, because it was on sale, it was in the market closest to me, and I needed oil ASAP. But if I have time to go shopping for my ingredients, I always like to go hit up the Mediterranean stores. I like to buy like single origin Greek olive oil. They're really cheap. Like a liter costs 20 to 30 bucks depending on the brand. Some of them are DOP, which verifies that they come from a specific region, and it's just better quality. And you don't give money to these like huge ass Botticelli corporations that just mix random shit up and sell it to you as olive oil. If I could choose what kind of job I could have in the future, I want to be a travel blogger right now. I truly do. And I'm really glad you enjoyed the video. Like, obviously if I'm participating in a video, it makes me happy to hear that somebody's enjoying it, but it was definitely a different part of myself because I was not comfortable doing that video because I didn't feel like I was invested in it. I didn't feel like I believed in it. So obviously it affects me because I feel like I have to pump it up and act for the camera. Because if I didn't, then I would just be rolling my eyes and be all awkward and stuff, and who wants to watch that? But I'm glad you like it, Anne. Shauna, Aaron handles all the travel logistics, and I've said before on this channel, anything that pertains to what Aaron does in his life, I won't be answering because that's his field. So I hope you can accept that answer for now. We won't be answering that question now, but maybe in the future. I'm sure you can look up how much a first class seat costs too. Those tickets also vary depending on if you're paying with cash, points, depending on the airline carrier, depending on the destination. It's all variable.
I just tell them I'm Casey Neistat and they give me all the seats for free. That's how I do it.
I don't think we can hear you right now, but okay. Haley is asking if I would be working in food if I didn't have a history with disordered eating. Okay, so that's a good question because I'm not sure. In high school, when I kind of started sinking into disordered eating, I still loved food. Like, I still cooked. I just became obsessed with fat-free stuff because we were villainizing fat at that point. And so I ate an entire year of peanut butter and jelly, which has fat in it, but I was like, I love peanut butter and jelly. But unfortunately, I sank into this very vicious cycle of not eating the whole day so that I could feel hunger and feel like I've earned it. And then I would eat like 6 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And then I would eat until I'm very uncomfortable. And then I would like feel pressure to exercise the next day. So it was like it was basically kind of a bulimic cycle. My therapist was probably right in diagnosing me with that. I think I still have that kind of like pattern of thinking, but I think I had a love of food. I also had disordered eating going on. I think when I graduated from college, I wanted to pursue 3 different fields that were of interest to me from high school times. One was education, which I did, teaching fellowship in China, which is where I met Aaron. Excuse me, burnt out of that. Social work, which I did very briefly as part of a FEMA-funded project after Hurricane Sandy hit New York City. I lasted 10 months and I was like, fuck this, I don't feel like I'm helping the community, this is stupid, let me get out of here. And then the third one was food. And I didn't feel great about going into food because I felt like education and social work had much more social prestige than food. And certainly, you know, there's a lot more guaranteed benefits in those compensation packages for those fields. Food is much more unreliable, much more minimum wage paid like shit, no benefits. My mom didn't feel comfortable with me taking on $10 an hour jobs, living in New York City, having no perceptible future in that field besides just grinding. It's basically manual labor. But I do think that working in restaurants and working in food really helped transform my relationship with food because it exposed me to food, different kinds of food, and it put me in an environment where I couldn't really choose what I ate because family meal was made for cooks and you only had that to eat. Otherwise, you would just starve. Like, if you didn't eat that, you bring in your own stuff, I guess. But you also only have, like, 5 to 10 minutes to eat because that's how rushed and toxic the kitchen environment can be. You're not really seen as a human. You're seen as a cook robot. So, being in that pressure cooker environment, having limited choices, was kind of almost like being in what I perceive to be an institution where you can go get checked in to treat your eating disorder because it's very regimented, right? They regiment what you do during the day, they regiment your meal hours, they regiment your meal menu, they regiment your meal amounts, and you're exposed to all the foods that you're scared of under supervision, which is not quite as controlled in a restaurant, but I would say the restaurant scene and the restaurant culture and the restaurant pace kind of set like a very restrictive sort of feeding schedule. And it made me realize that, wow, there's like a lot of flavors in here. There's a lot of, yes, trigger foods, fatty foods, sugary foods, but like, damn, I feel myself enjoying them and I see other people enjoying them. So if other people can enjoy them and they're still operational people and they're seemingly healthy people, why can't I? Maybe I can. And it's just like exposure therapy, really. So I don't know what kind of factors led to me developing disordered eating. There must be so many different kinds that just came together to form that storm, but bye, Freddie. But I'm glad I did that. I mean, I would love to be a travel blogger who rolls my eyes, and I think I am, and that's because I'm allowed to be who I am on my own channel. When I'm representing a content creator who works for, you know, a brand under a corporation, there are mostly unspoken decorum that I think I should follow. I can do controlled sarcasm. I can't be full-on sarcastic. I could talk about how much I want to unionize purse and how much management is fighting that on my own channel, but I certainly don't think it would be nice of me to talk about that on the Delish channel. And first of all, it would never get approved, right? There are eyes on these videos that go up on the Delish channel, so it would just never happen. But so part of why I said when I started live streaming on this channel is because people kept asking, why doesn't June have her own channel? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I could have my own channel. 2, because I felt really depressed and I thought it would help me to become more socialized, again, with people, albeit internet strangers, who could have very strong opinions about who I should be and what I should do. But also, if I didn't start it, then I would never start it. If I kept holding out until I learned perfectly how to edit a video, and I learned perfectly how to shoot a video, and I learned perfectly how to make a cookie, it would take me years before I ever felt comfortable. And you know how those things go. The more you delay them, the more overwhelming they get, the more anxiety you have, and the less likely you are to actually do them. So I was just like, well, if I start at live streaming on my stupid cell phone, which is clearly dying and has shit resolution, then I am setting the expectations so low, you cannot fall lower than this. If I just live stream myself cooking random shit, and literally things that look like shit sometimes, then that is the standard that I'm putting in there that people will come to expect. And then if that's the standard and that's the bar and it's that low, then the people who stay will likely be the people who are then okay with whatever I do. Because if I'm already giving them shit content, then they love shit content. And then I can be free to produce all the shit content that I want, because I don't have to cater to an audience that has raised expectations of what I'm going to create. Then I will just be free to create whatever I want to create. And, you know, as chaotic as these live streams are, I think they've enabled me to really explore a lot of myself. And it's true. You believe in the lies you tell yourself, and over time they become personal truths. And so for me to be able to vocalize a lot of the things on here, and to know that people are hearing it, and to know that I can't really take them back, because once you spew something on the internet, it stays, that forms my self-concept, that forms your concept of me too. So it's just an ever-changing evolution, and you get to see it happen. And hopefully people who want to criticize me get to see a few more of these, and they'll start picking up on the patterns, which is nothing is a constant, nothing is a given, everything is always changing, and people are allowed to be different. People are allowed to be different. People are allowed to be contradictions, because we are. Our world is filled with paradoxes and contradictions. Nothing really makes sense, and we need to accept that more and more, instead of attacking each other at every single little bit of information that doesn't fit with our particular worldview. Which is why I insist that the comment sections be open and not curated, because even if I don't agree with your comments, which can hurt me, it will make me think, and it will generate conversation. And I want this to be a place where we don't shut people down, where we engage in hopefully respectful exchange, and we can learn to see that we may not agree, but maybe there's validity to what other people think. And, you know, maybe there is no truth. So, that's all. Allison, I don't know what color Le Creuset I'm going to order, because I haven't even gotten the email yet. So I don't even know what I can choose from. Apparently they make these experimental colors that never make it to market, and I was like, can you hook me up with one of those? Because it would make all my dreams come true if I just have a butt ugly color that's not on the market. I love all the rejects, you know? How do you motivate yourself to clean when depressed? It really depends. If I'm really fucking depressed, I am in bed feeling like shit about myself and just absolutely stuffing peanut butter, bananas, and whatever the fuck else I can find in the room. Because unfortunately, eating food and binging on food is a source of comfort for me. Also guilt, which is a side effect, but the immediate action of eating food provides a physical comfort for me, provides a physical distraction for me. I enjoy the taste, I enjoy the texture, and it makes me feel, at least in terms of, you know, the way I sense things, alive. And then I just feel disgusting afterwards, and I just lie in bed and I'll probably cry, and if it gets really bad, I'll read some Ellen Watts or I'll listen to music, and I've learned to just submit myself to the disgusting feelings that I harbor, and I just hope for the best that it passes soon.
Thank you for the prunes, June.
I pooped on my chair.
Oh, yeah, so don't force yourself to clean when you're depressed, because if you just tell yourself, oh, X, Y, and Z I should be doing right now, why am I not doing that right now? You start to trigger that, for me at least, I start to trigger that cycle of guilt that makes my depression even deeper and worse and unclimbable, and I just submit myself into the deeper levels of hell when I tell myself, well, you're a shit human because not only did you binge, you're also unproductive, and you're also not cleaning the house. That's like a pigsty. Mold is growing on the bathroom grout tiles. Like, you gotta do that. And the more I think about it, the guiltier I feel and the worse I feel, and it's just like, why would you do that to yourself? Just let it go and just experience the sadness. There's nothing you have to do in that moment. You are just breathing. That's the foundation of a lot of meditation. You are breathing. You are here. What fell off the car?
No, not him.
Okay.
He had some, like,
Piece of some trash or something.
Do you think your binges are a form of self-punishment? It would be an unconscious one, because I fall on it as an instant gratification sort of comfort. When I'm happy and I have stuff going on in my life, rarely do I binge. It's only when I'm overwhelmed and I'm trying to escape feelings, escape assignments, escape stress and anxiety that I binge. It's only when I'm trying to distract myself and run away from shit that I binge. And it's a negative feeding cycle.
jumped off the ear.
Yeah, and Joan is right. Like, at least in my worldview right now, Joan is right. Joan said, you are not a shit human, productivity is not a virtue, and eating is not a vice. The more we paint things with black and white values, the more conflicted we'll start to feel, because everything is gray, and if we just allow ourselves to exist in the gray, everything will feel less controversial. But as soon as you put a value system of good, bad, then yes, you will always be between those polar opposites, and you will always be fluctuating between that space of, am I good or am I bad? Am I good or am I bad? And then when you're good, you feel good, and when you're bad, you feel really bad. And it's like, why would you do this to yourself? It's gray. You're gray. You're allowed to be gray. Sometimes you're more gray, sometimes you're less gray. It's fine. You're just gray. Eileen says, love to you, Aaron. Love you to Aaron.
Thank you, Eileen.
Would you ever take an antidepressant if it got debilitating? Yes. I know that some people literally can't get out of bed when they're depressed. I've had those days maybe 10 times in my entire life, like 10 days. I don't get that kind of physically debilitating depression, but it's very much a mental jail cell that I get confined into. Right, genocide is bad, but not one person commits genocide. You need a whole group of people to agree to help you commit genocide, then only can you commit genocide. Even if you were the one coming up with the idea and giving the orders, like, you need henchmen to kill the people for you. Aaron, your water's boiling. Hi, Megan. Ooh, Jasmine's telling us a riveting cat rescue story. Meanwhile, I shall figure out what else to eat. I'm definitely not going to eat these until the last batch of them have been pooped out of my system. There was just no better way to say that. Sorry, guys. Freddie, are you hungry? Are you a hungry boy? A hungry boy. Are you a hungry boy? A hungry boy. Should I feed him? I don't think it's time yet, Freddie. Peanut butter jelly time, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, 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 yes. Peanut butter and jelly time. Peanut butter and jelly time. And dates. Oh, hey Fred. You gonna watch me eat? Because I didn't give you food? Stay, computer. Yeah. You don't like peanut butter. Oh, did you see that? He flinched. How about the bougie one? Do you like the bougie one? Even less. You like the bougie one? Even less. 炸酱面, what can you use 甜面酱 for? I don't know. I've never owned 甜面酱. I'm assuming you can just do like use it like hoisin or oyster, because it's like kind of sweet, kind of fermented, kind of salty, got all that umami pasty thing going. What's wrong? What's wrong, Fred? Aaron, when was lunch? Okay. Freddie, you can survive another hour. I missed the cat story. We found the cat's owner? What'd you find, Freddie? Wow. Thanks for finding its home, Jasmine. Did everyone cry? And that sounds good. What do you put in your meatballs? Dates and peanut butter. Indeed, I have 2 peanut butters. I am rich. So rich. I just dropped peanut butter somewhere and I don't know where. I don't know how I did that, but I did. Has anyone else ever been to one of these press trips? Curious what your experience is. It's not jelly, it's dates. Nice. That sounds great, Anne. Thanks for sharing. Yes, Amy, completely agree. I love this combo so much. It's such a treat. It's so addictive for me. This is one of my depression foods that I can infinitely binge on. There's something so comforting about the sticky textures and the chewability. Yeah, tried. Yes, there should be a September video coming. I love tahini and dates too. Really any nut butter and dried fruit. So good. Oh, it's so good. Julie, can you tell he's not happy? The desperate meows are definitely disgruntlement. Uh-oh. Should I feed him? I do think he's got the zoomies. I just heard the litter box go, so he might have pooped. He really likes to meow when he poops. Shauna, there was one time where I was late to a restaurant shift and it was gonna go all night. So I just ran into a CVS and I bought a jar of peanut butter and I bought a box of raisins and I just went to the changing room, changed into my cook's jacket, and I just dumped the raisins into the jar of peanut butter and I just like ate half a jar of it and then I went on to my shift. Oh, Eliza, he's already done that. In the mornings, he sounds like he's crying. He sounds like he's suffering from cancer. Freddie? Freddie? Come here, play with the paper bag. You love paper bags. Do you want some cat grass? Here, I grew some cat grass for you. You don't want the grass? That means you're not starving. Not yet, because I've seen you chomp down on the grass. That's when you're really starving, my dude. I wish I had catnip for him, but he destroyed all the plants, and that was the last of my seeds that I had, so we don't have catnip seeds anymore. Did you flow bend him yet?
No, I'm doing that at night.
Yes, Fred? You gonna pounce? No? You're gonna settle down? Okay. Don't worry, he'll get food, guys. We're not gonna starve him all night. He literally stays home and does nothing all day. I feel very bad. Do you think he's depressed? He's definitely got the zoomies. I can hear him batting boxes in the next room. Most of the time, Aaron chooses where he wants to visit. So it's just a thing that we've always done is travel together, eat. And the newest thing is just that I'm going to record it, I'm going to vlog it, and I'm going to post it and edit it. So that you guys can tag along virtually too. And we'll make some ad content revenue, depending. Different videos earn differently. It's not dependent on views. There's like a lot of factors. I don't know what exactly goes into how much ad revenue you get, but
YouTube will never tell you.
YouTube will never tell us, apparently.
It's all part of the secret.
Fred does do the wiggle wiggle when he pounces sometimes. Dates never fuck me up the way prunes do. There's something different about prune. I think the types of sugar. I don't think it's the fiber that gets to me. I think it's the sugar. I think my gut is highly sensitive to sugar. Yeah, it is sorbitol. But it's not just an artificial sweetener, right? Because they don't add sorbitol to prunes, it's naturally occurring. Oh, God. Oh. Too tired, Fred. I'm too tired. Man, I wish I had asked you to take out my soup for me.
Soup?
Yeah, it's all frozen, and I can't eat it.
We have a microwave, James.
But it's frozen as a block. You want me to microwave the whole block?
Oh, yeah.
I want soup. It's so frozen, y'all. It's like solid block. Fred. That was a very forceful bump, bud. Alright, you know what to do, bud. Can you sit? Good boy. Sit. One, two. I know, buddy. 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. 7. Good boy. Okay. You'll get food. Oop. You guys are gonna think this is really gross, but I'm just gonna eat the part that's already melted. I'll sit right here. It always just melts unevenly, you know? But I'm here reading your comments while you watch Fred. Yeah, I have a lot of dog viewers who enjoy Fred. I'm not sure what's going on with that crowd, but I'm glad. I'm glad I have that audience.
A lot of dog viewers.
Dog viewers, like dogs who like to watch Fred. Do they like Fred or do they want to kill Fred? Yes, this is the trash soup. Indeedly. Like the bottom of the bowl is burning my thighs and the top of it is completely frozen. This has potatoes and kale and butternut squash and coconut milk and lentils and random things, guys. I made this before I left and I froze it because there was no way I could finish the soup. And now we're back eating it again. From the Hamptons to the freezer, trash soup survives all ups and downs of life. We need a Discovery Channel documentary on the trash soup. Who would narrate the life of Trash Soup? Would it be Fred? You think Fred needs more soup? Baby Mochi, I think you are going to spoil Fred too much. Before the days of caviar and expensive champagnes, we had the trash soup. From the depths of the crisper to the heights of the forgotten pantry, we bring together the legumes of the past. Did you guys like the High with June stream? What did I behave like? I don't even recall. Tell me more. Tell me more. The fishy, I ate all of it. Sometimes I ate it as leftover for breakfast because it takes a while for me to set up the kitchen the next day. So I need some food for breakfast before I start. Yeah, he is getting kind of chonky. I don't know. He is on Flovent, remember, so he is likely to gain weight. That's exactly right. Weed allows me to be less in my head about stuff. It's very liberating and freeing. I think we just have to legalize weed everywhere, you know? I don't know what's taking so fucking long. Are you done, Freddie? Finished? Do you want some trash soup? Did you guys see that? A piece of turkey just fell from his lips. Fred. Psst, psst. Psst, psst, psst. Gross old man. Food falling out of his lips as he's eating. That is totally an old man move. I'm gonna send you to the retire home. Psych. You are at the retirement home, buddy. I've never tried D8, no. Yes, I found the pumpkin. It is here. I'm pretty sure it is a small field pumpkin, so I don't know if it's gonna taste good, but I'm hoping that there will be seeds in there. Look at Fred hiding. What a dummy. What an adorable dummy. You're highly allergic to weed? Ibishi, the high video was just a live stream. It was just a random live stream. And I didn't make it very obvious because I don't know if it was going to get me banned or demonetized. So I had kind of just smoked it off cam. But you knew I was smoking. Let's watch him do his old man stuff. It's pretty good. Freddie, I met so many goats today, and compared to you, they weren't nearly as soft. You're so soft. I love how soft you are. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy hanging out there. No, Egypt is coming up. Let's hope everything goes smoothly, because we're ready for things to get weird and changey. I don't eat seated in front of the fridge very often. It's only when I live stream with you guys, honestly. Normally not this weird, but I will say I eat in my bed a lot. I did come back from LA, yes. Well, I guess I'll go clean up the mess where Fred is licking himself now. And I guess I'll go shower. And I guess I'll get ready to go back to work tomorrow. Eating in bed is like the ultimate comfort food setting, you know? It really doesn't get more comfortable than that. I also don't have a couch. I'm sure if I had a couch, it would just be filled with crumbs right now. No, I don't have to go back to the office currently, but we will start transitioning back to a hybrid work model where some of the people have to go back in 2 to 3 times a week, alternating. I'm not sure how that rule is going to apply to me, since a lot of my stuff is video production and it's all done by myself at home, and it would make no sense for me to carry my equipment to the office and shoot it there. So I don't know, everything is up for change really, so I don't have much in terms of concrete dates and answers. But I'm going back to work in the sense that I was away from work Monday through Wednesday, aka today, so I have to go back into work mode. I would rather work at home because I'm used to it. Remember, we've spent a year and a half working from home. We've just mastered how to work from home. And just as we're mastering how to work from home, they're telling us to go back into the office. It's like a major shift. And the man on my chest is a musician. His name is Chase Underwood Seglier. Seglier? I don't know how to say it properly. And he has an album called Onion, and I like it very much. And I just thought this was a fantastically shitty shirt. You know, when somebody makes something so shitty and you're like, yeah, that rocks. So, it was the middle of the pandemic. Independent artists were pretty much, you know, scraping by, and I was like, I'll buy a shirt. He's not very big. Yet. How many hours do I have to work? Well, Hearst technically runs on a 35-hour work week where we work 40 hours, but 5 of them are lunch hours, 1 per day. I don't really take my lunch hour, and I often work at least 9, sometimes 10. hours a day, and when it comes to budget eats, I can work anywhere from 12 to 16 hours per day for an entire week. So there's really no set work weeks for me. If I were to respect my own work-life boundaries, I would not work more than 35 hours because that's what I get paid for. But because I am a dumb cog who wants to do everything right, despite not having a company who supports a union and compensates their workers for doing their jobs right, I work more for the same amount of money. What are you doing, Freddy? I think my phone is running out of battery too. So if I cut out randomly, it's probably because my phone ran out of battery, y'all. But Fred is hanging out, so I figured we just stream as long as he's willing to hang out. Nowco, you should take some sick days. I do love cashew. I am not paid hourly, I am salaried now, which means if I work 35 or 60 hours a week, I get paid the same. If I work 80 hours a week, I get paid the same as a 35-hour work week. But, you know, if you don't meet all the assignments that are assigned to you, you either get labeled as, I guess, lazy or problematic if you bring up the issue that you can't really do all this work in 35 hours. Are you getting hiccups or are you going to throw up? You okay, bud? Are you going to throw up? I heard you. You struggling in there, bud? If you're going to throw up, can you throw up in a trash can? I really don't have the energy to clean it up, bud. You good? Did you eat too fast? Oh, boy. The mush tastes great. I think only worker-owned companies support their workers because they are literally the company. AKA King Arthur Flour, I think, has a great workplace. I don't know because I've never worked there, but I would assume any company that is owned by the workers will be the companies that look out for their workers because they are looking out for themselves. Chicoli, sounds like you work in tech, huh? Bye, Freddy. Well, Fred's gone, so I guess I should get going too, y'all. It's been a long stream, and thanks so much for tuning in. And it seems like people liked the really short flight video. Did you guys like the VO? Because probably a lot of the LA vlogs will be VO'd because there was a lot of ambient noise, there's a lot of copyright music being played in public spaces. And so I probably won't be able to use a lot of audio that was there. So, you know, it's gonna be a crazy next 3 weeks. I just have like non-stop shooting for Delish, so I don't know when the next episode is gonna roll out, but I know for the success of a YouTube video, you're supposed to upload regularly so your viewers can expect when to see your content roll out, but I'm just like, I'm gonna edit it when I have time, and I'm gonna put it up as soon as I edit it, so you'll just have to be surprised. We are going to not pay attention to the supposed ways to gain the algorithm's favor, and we're just gonna do whatever the fuck we want, and y'all can watch it or not watch it, and you can watch it whenever you want, and I will edit it whenever I want, and we'll just go on with our lives pretending we don't exist until we do exist, and that's that. And you are free to change as you please, and there is no shame in being different. And no shame means peace, and peace, I think, is nice to have. I hope you have a good night or a good day. I don't know where in the world you are, but God, I don't want to shower. But I will go.